Yeah.
What's up, yeah?
So we got a special guest with us today. As y'all know, I'm in St. Louis. We just got back from the meetup, just got back from kicking it. And this is the legend, the man, the myth.
Oh, definitely a myth.
TRICKIN TRAV with us.
I'm definitely not tricking.
What's going on with you, man?
Yeah, just trying to make it one day at a time.
What brings you back? You didn't tell nobody that you was gonna be back in St. Louis.
Nah, man, it was like all of a sudden thing. But I took an L. I've been in Reno for the past year.
Yeah.
Had a good career opportunity out there, but Reno, not my cup of tea.
There's no niggas out there, right?
No niggas at all.
But the people want to know, what's the hoes looking like out there?
I mean, Filipino chicks are nice. A, they like to drink Hennessy. I realize that. Beautiful thing. B, they actually do like niggas. But they don't. I didn't come across any casual dating Filipino women. So they like, as Filipino chicks told me,
Did you smash any?
Nah. Nah.
Just
They just Puerto Rican, yeah. So, but like the Filipino women I knew out there, they was like, we love hard. It's hard to date us because we love hard. I'm like, I'm not trying to love you though.
Enough with the small talk, my nigga. So the last time that we had you on the show, Singing Juice and myself, we always like to come back.
That was a while ago.
It was a while ago. It was several months ago. But we talked about a few things, but we also talked about, we always try to get an update. With you and your girls, your hoes, your chicks, your bitches, all that.
Well, I don't have a lot of those. So there was one particular that I was interested in, if that's what you want to update on.
The one that we know, do we mention that? We don't mention that.
We don't like to name drop, but the one that I quote unquote
that you mentioned her name on the one episode by accident.
Yeah, I got mad that day. We was beefing, so I name dropped once. Right. And that was on accident because I was mad at her.
But y'all been on good terms since then.
Yeah, we recovered from that beef, and that's a special thing, man. When you can have beef with somebody and then recover from it. That's how you know. No, okay, that's how you know if somebody's legit. Right. Is when you have that real disagreement, not on some I want to eat here and somebody else want to eat somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Not a disagreement on what movie you want to go see, but when you have some real like, nah, this is what I believe. This is my core value.
Right. Now, how did y'all end up going to DR? Like, how did that trip happen?
So that happened on a tip to where she got a promotion at work. Congratulations to her. And she was very excited about it. She was stoked. She was like, this is great. I got this new project. I'm promoted to this new position. And then she was like, I'm going to need to celebrate. I want to celebrate, but I want to do something different. She didn't want to be in her hometown at the time. So she was like, I think I just want to go out on like a vacation to celebrate. Mm-hmm. And she was like, you want to join me on my vacation to celebrate? Just like that. I got the invite. And I'm always looking for a reason to get out of town and to travel. I like to go different places like that. And so that's how that whole deal. Now here I am thinking she wants to do like a weekend getaway, do like a Chicago thing or I don't know, New York or something like that or Philly or Miami. But nah, I started getting, texts and emails like, hey, I found this, 6-day all-inclusive trip out of the country, or she was sending me information on cruises because neither one of us never been on a cruise, so we were thinking about sharing that first experience. Yeah. And but now what it ended up being, it's like, hey, I've never been to the DR, Dominican Republic. I've never been. She was like, I found this great deal, blah blah blah. You down? I said, what's the price? And we went half on it. And then
did you really go half on it?
So if I need to, and I think I have, it's sad to say that has to be a relevant question, but for those that don't believe, I did send documentation to you and to the homie Mike, shout out to Mies. Yes, she paid for it up front, and I chipped in my hat.
So wait, was this the DR trip? What was the DR trip that we was just talking about, where the famous picture where you sleep in the pool?
So me falling asleep drunk in the pool.
I want to relive that conversation.
That was a year ago. That was me in Costa Rica. That was a guy trip. Okay. So I had a homie that I used to play ball with in Indiana, and he was getting married. So him and his wife were doing, his wife her homegirl, excuse me, took her to Miami for their bachelorette, shindig or whatever. So us as the fellas, we was like, hey, fuck, let's do Costa Rica with the guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's his little bachelor party, shindig or whatever. So we went to Costa Rica for 4 days, and this made me realize, despite on the perception or how y'all like to title me as the trickin' ass nigga, this lets me know how I'm not legitimately about that life, because we're in Costa Rica. We go to this party, and it's a party, beautiful women, right? Beautiful exotic women down there, and they were very approaching. You say what's up, they like, hey, hola papi, and como está. They're very, friendly and shit, right? So I'm tripping. I'm conversating, having a beer with these white boys from Florida, and I'm like, man, these some beautiful women, and they are like ultra friendly. I'm thinking some of them are working girls. Well, I got laughed at, because come to find out, they were all working girls.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we're in just a random party at this cool ass lounge in Costa Rica. It happens to be a brothel. So we at this brothel where these are working girls who will accept money for sex, just like that. So we were there maybe an hour, not even that long. And these guys are like, hey man, we finna go back to the beach house. We rented an Airbnb off the beach at Jayco Beach, and all my homies had like a girl or two. And they was like, hey bro, pick a chick, man, we bring them back to the house. And now, at that point, that's where I was like, nah, this ain't me. I'm not finna pick a chick to quote unquote pay for the night, because there's no mutual interest there. You know what I'm saying? This is me going to some female, I don't know you, but my name is whatever. I could give it whatever name, but I got a couple of $100. Come home with me.
But what's the difference between that and what's the difference between paying a girl?
What's the difference between prostitution and then what y'all consider as tricking?
Let me finish the question.
Sure.
What's the difference between paying a girl $200 and you know for a fact that y'all about to get it popping, versus taking a girl out on a date that costs $200 and maybe you will or maybe you won't have.
For a date, for me to take a woman on a date that's $200, number one, I have an interest in her other than sex. Okay. So that means that even though the date's gonna be $200, I plan to see and speak to her in the future.
Okay.
Compared to if I meet a random working girl and I'm paying her $200 just for the next, 6, 8, or 10 hours, and then after that I'll never see her again, type of deal. That's one difference.
What's wrong with never seeing?
You know what? No knock on those who do that. Again, it's not my thing.
Have you ever paid for sex?
No.
Never
used a prostitute. Not my cup of tea.
So you've never paid a prostitute, but you paid for sex?
No. See, this is where we have a disagreement. Me meeting a girl, introduce myself. I court the woman. I date the woman. We go out on whatever, how many dates, and I don't know, you're the only one that I know that keeps track of money like that. But I'm not tracking how much money I'm spending on date 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before sex might occur. And it always varies. I've had some scenarios where I've had major wins where sex occurs on date 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Other cases where it's taking longer, but I'm not tripping off the money aspect. It's all off the vibe. I want the woman to fuck me because she wants to fuck the shit out of me, not because of, well, do you have $100 before I fuck the shit out of you? No, that's not my cup of tea. I just don't feel comfortable.
Well, what I'm saying is,
so that's another.
Sometimes
difference.
it's different though, because sometimes a girl might just maybe not really fuck with you, but because you going out on a certain type of date that maybe she's never experienced before, maybe she feels like that's what she owes you, or maybe she feel like, clearly it is different. It is different.
Definitely different.
I'm asking you what's the difference for comedic purposes. But I'm also just saying, we've had this conversation many times where some women just judge, and you can attest to determine whether or not they're going to
major turn off for me when
so
especially when that's during the introductory conversation. When I approach you on some, hey, what's up? Hey, my name is Travis. How you doing? You know, we've met women on first encounters together to where that question, in fact, is recent as 2 hours ago. We were having a good conversation with two females out and about on their own. Not once did anybody care what you or I did for a living.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. That's what made the conversation and the vibe more enjoyable compared to, so what do you guys do for a living? Now, if they would have came out with that, then I'm like, that gives the perception you just care what I am on paper
now, these
compared to who I am as a person.
But
they were more concerned on, so wait a minute, how do you operate, how do you move when you're trying to date a woman? And we had that conversation with them, despite on what I do for a living.
Right.
I could be unemployed and they didn't care.
Now, I'm going to say this so you don't have to. Now, they were white.
They were white. That's fair.
Do you feel like that played a part?
Partially, sad to say. You know, God bless black women, and I'm all about, you know, women empowerment and all that.
When a nigga prefaces statement with that, it's about the reason.
Well, no, my thing is this: what I run across, just in my experience, even with women that we are really close with, that are educated, that have their solid careers, and I'm all about that. Go get all the education you want. Go make all the money that you want. But then when that happens, it's my experience, the woman says, I want somebody, quote unquote, on my level. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody who matches my ambition, whatever that is, right? That's where I think, to me, there's somewhat of a disconnect, because you're measuring based on, and this is just my perception when women say that, materialistic type of shit. God bless you if you are a 28-year-old female, you got a master's, you make 95 grand a year, and you're a homeowner. Cool. But if I happen to be 28, maybe I'm a kindergarten teacher. So maybe I only make 30 or 40 grand a year. Maybe I rent a one-bedroom apartment. Maybe I have a 2002 Dodge Intrepid that's the AC ain't working type of shit. But I take care of myself. But because you might make 90 G's and you have a higher education than what I have, maybe I just got my bachelor's in elementary education, and maybe I just like kids to where, you know what, this is my comfort space. I like dealing with kids during this influential age of ages 4 to 6. And that's what I like to do for a living. And that, with that salary, I could only afford to pay for a $500 or $600 apartment a month type of deal. And I can pay my car off in cash, and that's what I'm content with by myself. But if you have your $95,000 gig and you have your $200,000 house and all of that, does that mean I'm not on your level? You know what I'm saying? That's where my disconnect is, and that's why
it doesn't just mean y'all in two different industries.
And that's what I try to tell women, and not just black women, but women in general. But you know, it's all about the industry. God bless you if you happen to go into medicine and you're a doctor and you pull your 90 G's. God bless you if you go into law, or if you go into real estate and you know how to flip property and you make decent money at that. But if I work in education, it's sad to say, we know people in education don't make good money like that. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, if I happen to work retail management and I'm a shift manager at a Walgreens or a Quick Trip, that don't mean I ain't shit. That just means that my choice of industry is different than yours. And yours just happen to pay more. But that has nothing to do with who I am. So, you know,
and it also has nothing to do with your level of ambition either.
Or, well, to an extent, it kind of does. But at the same
your,
time, it's not to knock. It's not to knock a
might
guy.
not pay that much.
It's not to knock somebody who just wants to teach kindergarten for 30 years and retire. No knock on that. Just because I don't want to teach for maybe 5 or 10 years and then elevate to be a principal and then elevate to be an educator, administrator, or something like that. Just because I don't have that kind of ambition to escalate in the industry because I'm happy with this age group because that's my passion, that don't mean that I lack. It does, but it doesn't.
I don't think that it does mean.
Because my ambition is to try to better kids. It's not to run a whole school or to be an administrator and try to run a district type of deal. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's where